everybody, and thank you for joining me for this afternoon's presentation of Coffee on the Coast. I'm Jason Prigge, and I'm going to show you my coffee cup. I got a green screen, so it looks a little weird, but I'm still drinking coffee at 2 in the afternoon. So anyway, as we do on the show, we like to bring on folks that are doing awesome things. And the two people I'm going to bring on in just a second are doing great things for our own Manitowoc Public Library, the award-winning Manitowoc Public Library. So let's say good afternoon to my friends here, Deena and Amber. Hello.
Hello, Jason.
Hello.
Today I have you guys on because we are talking about something that is totally out of my wheelhouse, and that's growing stuff. Now, Amber, I know you know how to grow stuff. You're the expert, and Deena, I'm sure you are as well. So tell us a little bit about what's happening and how the Manitowoc Public Library is putting on a program to help teach people like me how to grow stuff.
Sure. So for the last couple years, the Manitowoc Public Library reached out to myself to lead some programming at the library. And the first two events that we led at the library, there was about 50 people in attendance each time. And I thought that this year it would be interesting to actually work with some other folks who are avid gardeners in our community and just kind of expand my horizons, because there's many different approaches to gardening, and I thought it'd be fun to learn from others at the same time as expressing some of those things that I've learned over the years. And it's just fun to partner with friends. So we have a series of 6 classes that we're going to be, or presentations that we're going to be providing online through the Manitowoc Public Library, and I'm so excited to do this with my great friend Deena Larson. Hi, Deena.
Hi. Thank you, Amber. And I'm looking forward to it as well. I'm currently teaching, and I have 4 more days left before I'm retired, and decided, okay, how am I going to spend my time? And I'm just so impressed with what Amber's doing with Grow It Forward. And this was a wonderful opportunity to go with something that I'm passionate about. So looking forward to it.
Congratulations on your retirement. So do you plan on doing a lot of gardening when you retire?
Yeah, I've been gardening for 40 years, so it's nothing new. I just will have a bigger garden this year, I think.
Yeah, there you go. More time to do it. So
We might have lost Jason for a moment. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well.
But this is a screen of our, or a schedule of our classes that are coming up, our online presentations. So again, we have 6 of those. It'll take place on the 2nd and the 4th Tuesdays of the month, all the way through August. And we're going to be going through a couple different type of topics. So everything from how to get started to what to do at the end of the season and get prepared for actually a fall garden. So Deena, maybe you have a little bit more that you could say about some of your experiences and how you got started in gardening.
It's something that my mom gardened a little bit, and I just started small. And that's really what we're going to be focusing on with our first one, that I'm a writer, and I've gone to writing workshops, and they say, if you write, you're a writer. If you put something in the ground, if you plant, you're a gardener. So you don't have to go big right away and imagine that you need this huge space in which to work from. So our first episode, airing this Tuesday at 10 o'clock, is going to be looking at how can you start to get involved with gardening.
Yeah,
that is something I need to know. I'm just going to jump in. That is something I need to know. Like, how the heck do you even start? What kind of plants? What kind of dirt? Do you need special dirt? Do you need special water? Where do you put it in the yard? And when does the sun? So you guys are covering all that stuff, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And the other thing that go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, when I got started in my gardening experience, I mean, I quite literally chucked an entire packet of radishes in a 1-foot row, not realizing I'm going to have 200 radishes coming up all at one time. And then I realized I had to thin those seeds out, and I learned all about thinning and what that meant. And I kind of take the chaos approach to gardening. So we'll definitely talk a little bit about that. But I think Deena has a little bit of a better aspect on how to grow.
I don't know about better. It's different. And like you said, I mean, this is a community approach. Grow It Forward's all about community, and we're a community of gardeners. We learn from each other. But yeah, I'm out there with a clipboard, and I write down the date of what I planted and, organize it so I'm rotating my crops so it's better for the soil. A lot of people call it soil instead of dirt, so we may talk about that as well in one of the episodes. So yeah.
Awesome. Oh, go ahead, Amber. Go ahead.
I was going to say just an example of chaotic gardening. So my husband made this little planter for myself, and I definitely know what this is. This is actually amaranth that we're growing, and then we'll transplant it outside for the grain. When they're really small, you can eat them as microgreens, but I have no idea what this beautiful green plant is, and it's kind of an experiment. So who knows what we're going to have popping up in our garden.
Almost looks like a sunflower.
It could be that, or I don't know, maybe kohlrabi or a broccoli, maybe. I don't know.
Well, Amber, you just hit on something that's really like a novice like me. I don't know the difference. Like when you grow something from a sprout, from a little sprout, to quote the name of a business I know about, Little Sprouts. But when you grow something from a little sprout, telling the difference between that and a weed sometimes is really hard, especially for a novice like myself.
Yeah, labeling plants is certainly a really important step if you want to know for sure what you're growing. And like Deena had mentioned, having that clipboard and keeping track of, what you're planting and how many days to harvest, that'll give you a better idea. There's so many different ways to keep track of things, but I'm kind of in the stage of like, well, let's chuck it in the soil and see what happens.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're a little more organized, huh, Deena?
Well, I try to be with gardening. The rest of my life is chaos, but my garden, last year I was on a mission to find the best cherry tomato. So I planted 25 different kinds of cherry tomatoes, and I had a numbered marker by each one so that way I could determine, okay, which is the one that I'm going to spend my time on. So that was last year's project.
Wow, that's very cool. I'm gonna bring this up again because I'm gonna look at the subject. So, like on the first show is getting started, and then there's soil health and pest management, and then what and how to plant, gardening tools, water management, fall and end of the season maintenance. So the last one was really intriguing to me. Is there a lot that you have to do at the end of the season? I thought you just harvest the vegetables and then enjoy eating them and let the snow fall, but you actually there's some things to be done with the soil, or how does that work?
There are definitely some things you can do. You don't have to. You can just pick it all up in the spring. But one of the things we're going to talk about in the first episode is learning to garden. I learned a trick from one of the people at the farmer's market because she always had the best spinach in the spring. And I said, how do you do that? She said, I plant it in November. It's like, whoa, who knew? So there are definitely some things that you can do in the fall that will make your life in spring that much better in your garden, that much more fruitful.
Wow, awesome. So this sounds like a really informative and cool program. I want to bring this up. So everybody that's looking to learn how to garden, it's going to be Tuesdays at 10 a.m. and it will be a virtual show that will be broadcast. It looks like streamed on the Facebook page of the Manitowoc Public Library. So everybody out there who wants to learn how to garden, or if you're an experienced gardener, you could probably learn some tips and tricks, like Deena just said, something that she didn't know after 40 years or whatever. There's so much wealth of knowledge between these two folks that you could definitely start a garden and maybe get some yummy vegetables to eat going on this summer, huh?
That's right.
Sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today. This has been very informative, and I look forward to seeing the show. I think it's a great piece of content for the library, and thank you so much for partnering with the library, with Grow It Forward, and just with Manitowoc as a community in general. I think that our food systems here could definitely use some more independence with home gardening and really accentuate some good food. And I'm saying that as a supporter of Grow It Forward as well. So if you're curious about Grow It Forward, let's give that a little plug for that too, Amber.
Yep. You can find out more information at grow54220.com. You can also email us at info@grow54220.com. Or you can call us at 920-645-9467. If you have questions about gardening, I might not know the answer, but I certainly have a plethora of people to choose from to help answer your questions. So please feel free to forward those over. Or if you want to find out more about our mission, I'd be happy to help you with that too.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.